This is the Royal Enfield Scram, and in this video we're going to find out if this bike can go off-road, and I'm going to address a few questions and comments that came up in our review of this bike, so make sure you watch that video too. One of them was this cover here, so we'll start with that. So you just need an Allen key underneath.
And it comes undone very easily.
So there we are, basically comes off quite simply. One Allen key, nut, and there you see it's just this bar sticking across here, which is attached to the frame there. You could remove it, but the other side, the oil cooler is attached to it, so it would be an easy modification if you wanted to get rid of it completely, or you could just take the plastic things off and this little bracket for it. It just sticks out a little bit, or you can even saw it off. So, I mean, it's easily done, so not a big deal. Now, just looking at it here, you've got two nuts here, which you could remove, and there's this plastic insert. You could inside put maybe a toolkit or a few bits and pieces. So you could make it quite a useful little thing for that. When I filmed the review of this bike, oh, you won't believe it. I did the whole thing, and I packed away, put it onto the computer, and then realised that the camera was set to manual focus, so none of it, not one shot, was in focus. So I had to do it all over again. What a pain. And I think I did forget a few things I was going to say. One of them was, when you get on the bike, sometimes you can whack yourself on this bar here that sticks out. So just be careful of that. But it's useful to have, so it's nice to have something to strap things to. Another thing I forgot to mention, I think, on the review was how the gears are, and the gear change is brilliant, no problems whatsoever. Nice gear change on this bike. Another thing is that it has this little plastic mud guard extender at the bottom here, which is great because it stops all the muck going onto your bike. So that's a good thing. So many mud guards these days are built for looks and not for functionality. And when you're going on mucky ground, you don't want the bike caked in mess and have to spend hours washing it. And talking about washing it, if you do wash this bike, because it's so simple, it's really easy to wash. And a lot of bikes with radiators and fans and things, it's just a nightmare to get all the crud and muck out of it. So this is good. You don't have the center stand on the Scram like the Himalayan has. It does look better, I must say, but if you're oiling your chain, what you have to tend to do is, if you've got someone help you, ideally, but you just have to move the bike back a few inches every time you squirt it until you get all the way around. So it's a bit more of a pain, but it's not a big deal. Alternatively, if you've got a friend, you can just pick the bike up like that, and your buddy can help you lubricate the chain just by leaning it on the side stand. So that's a good trick to know. So I'm going to get my boots on and my helmet and find out what this bike is like off-road. So, yes, the Scram can go off-road, and it handles really nicely. It's got very good steering, and it's quite sure-footed, so no problem at all. The limitation that I found is with the motocross boots that I'm wearing. Voila. The design of the frame and the cover here means that you can't grip the bike with your boots. It sticks out too far, so when you're standing up, there's, your feet are in the wrong place, so that's no good. Also, the brake lever and the gear lever, I can't get the boot underneath the gear lever to shift. You can in normal, cowboy boots I normally ride in, to be honest, and no problem with that. But with motocross boots being fatter, you'd have to adjust the levers to suit. So they're definitely not geared up as standard to accommodate that. This mud guard at the front, when the rocks get picked up by the wheel, you can hear the rocks going underneath and going bing, and that's why motocross bikes have taller mud guards to stop that problem happening, because you know, sometimes a rock could get jammed and you end up blocking your front wheel, so that's not a good thing for that. The rear brake seems a bit vague with the motocross boots on. It's fine on the road, but again, it just feels like you're pressing it and nothing's happening. So when you're going down quite a steep hill, which I have been doing, there's not enough engine braking for the bike to go down slowly, so you do need to use the brakes, and then they just feel a little bit vague. But as I said in a previous video, poor brakes are a safety feature, and you know, that stops you going too fast. And by the way, that is a joke, and I lost a couple of subscribers over that, saying, oh, you say bad brakes are a safety feature, what a lot of nonsense, and goodbye. Because honestly, if you think that wasn't a joke, then you're the one with the issues, not me. Anyway, some people. But actually no, the bike's very good. It does go off-road. It will take you anywhere. Look where I've come. So yes, you can do it. Same, I mean, it's pretty much the same as Himalayan. It's just a little bit stiffer with suspension. And on the whole though, it will get you to places no other bike will get you. Of course, the beautiful thing about bikes like the Scram is it gets you out to places. And I've just stopped off here to see a horse. It's a bit scared of me, that one. Hello! And there's some more up here, look. And they're all congregating together. Amazing. They've got tons of horses here. This is a local riding school, and they do pony trekking, and they've got, I don't know, must have 100 horses. But look at where you could ride. So if you come to stay in our holiday let, you can ride one of these and go for miles. They do half day treks, full day. They even do this great thing where people come stay with them, and they have a sort of like a week riding and grooming and all that sort of thing that you do with horses. Come on, come and say hello. No, no chance today. But oh, hello, being friendly now. No, it's not. Come on, come on, come on, little horsey. Got fluffy feet. Nicely groomed, I say, nicely looked after. So, beautiful hot day on a Scram. What could be better? So let us know what you think of the Scram. Make sure you've seen the review that I did before we did this video, and hopefully I've covered the points in this one that I didn't in the last one. And horse is squeaky. And yeah, do you know what? It's a good bike. I do like it. It's not enduro-y, if you know what I mean. So with the gear on, it doesn't feel so comfortable to ride as it does in normal clothes and boots. And if you were riding down tracks and things, I'd say if you had just normal boots like cowboy boots or whatever you would normally wear, and you were just poodling along, sitting down, then it feels fine. When you're standing up with all the gear on, it doesn't feel so comfortable. So it's not an enduro bike, it's a dual sport trail bike, road bike. It'll do it, but you know, if you want to do serious off-roading, then you need an enduro bike. If you want an all-terrain easy to ride bike that does everything mainly road, then this will be fine. So to summarise, yes, this bike will go off-road and it is capable off-road. So if you're doing farm tracks and green lanes, no problem at all. I was riding on some rocky ground and you'd be better off with mud guards higher up like a enduro or motocross bike for gnarly stuff. Things can get caught in there, but that's not really a problem. The biggest problem was that this panel here sticks out quite a long way, so you can't hug the side of the bike with your boots on. So if you're riding with motocross boots, this was really difficult. It didn't feel comfortable at all. And then the pedals kind of feel in the wrong place for the big fat boots. They're fine for normal road riding boots, no problem at all. But most people that get these are probably going to be riding off-road occasionally in their road gear, and you'd be fine. And it actually does feel better if you're sitting down riding off-road. I know people say we're supposed to stand up, but yeah, you can ride off-road sitting down if you're not going too fast. As I said, as soon as you stand up, then it's so wide here that it doesn't feel right. It's a nice engine, I think, for green laning because it just sort of chugs along. And if you're just pootling along exploring, that's what you want. If it's a powerful meaty bike, then you're always holding it back and that doesn't feel nice, so you can just not worry about it and just ride where you want. So that's really good. So on the whole, this bike is a fabulous motorcycle. This or the Himalayan basically is down to your use. They're the same bike in essence. This has got firmer suspension, a different seat, a little bit less suspension travel and a tiny bit less ground clearance. So this is more road focused and it's a light off-road. The Himalayan is more, perhaps I would say serious off-road, but slightly more gnarly. None of them are enduro bikes. So, but then enduro bikes are hopeless on the road. So if you buy an enduro bike and for the first time go out on the road, you think, oh my goodness, what have I bought? It's awful because you go through the gears so quickly and you get to 50 miles an hour and you're pretty much top speed, so horrible. But these are great. So they're a road bike that can go off-road and highly recommended.